Alright, welcome to Stretford Paddock. I'm Ronaldo Brown and I'm back with the news at Old Trafford, and it is cold as fuck, but I'm here and I'm ready to give you a little bit of news, a little bit of fresh news. Obviously, you had Jay and Alex on the Transfer Live last night, so the news is a little bit shortened, but there still were quite a few updates this morning, and I'm going to get into the news right now. So here we go, and this is the first bit of news. With the first bit of news, it's surrounding centre-back Chris Smalling, which has been a little bit of a saga now, but it's been reported by Damasio, which has been a bit of a forgotten man really, with the rise or the resurgence, or however you want to call it, of Fabrizio Romano. But he stated that Chris Smalling to Roma is reaching its final stages. Negotiations are reaching the finish lines thanks to Smalling's efforts in the deal, which basically suggests that Smalling is pretty much keen on leaving, and that's something that we've known for weeks now. It seems like it's been dragging on quite a bit, which shows that United aren't too keen about letting him go, especially if you don't have a ready-made replacement. But as I've said in the past, if Smalling wants to take his career on in Italy and kind of extend his career, which is what seems to be the case with any player that seems to go over there from the English league, then I'm all for it. But I do want to see that United kind of look for a replacement, because we don't definitively have two strong centre-back pairings. Obviously, we've got Maguire, we've got Lindelof, we've got Eric Bailly, Tuanzebe, etc. But they're not. There isn't really two mainstays. I know that sometimes the jury's out on Lindelof, and even the jury's out on Maguire himself. And obviously, he's coming with the 80 million price tag, and he's lived almost all the way up to it, but not quite. And I feel like there's always room for improvement. And if you want to get rid of Smalling, we need to bring in someone that's quite just as athletic, just as strong defensively, and pretty much kick on now, because obviously the season starts for us in about 2 weeks. And we need strength and depth in all areas. And if you really want to take further than the third place that we saw last season, then it needs to happen. But I'm actually quite surprised that it's dragged on this long. But if Damasio, who's a Sky News reporter in Italy, you don't really get much more reliable than that. I know he was the man back in the day. So it looks like it actually is reaching a conclusion, and we're better off getting our outgoings and obviously getting rid of Deadwood as soon as possible. So that is it for Chris Smalling. Let me know what you think about that. Who do you want to see replaced, come in as a result of Chris Smalling's departure? Just let us know what you think in the comments. And with the second bit of news, it is surrounding left back Sergio Reguilon. I don't know if that pronounced his name correctly, but I've tried my best. And it's been reported by Laurie Whitwell, which is the correspondent for United for The Athletic UK, who has said that Sergio Reguilon has been offered to United and is available on the market for £18 million. He's under consideration, but is currently not a priority, which seems to be quite a turnaround from the recent events. I know obviously recent suggestions were saying that obviously United were quite keen on the player, but £18 million seems like an absolute bargain, absolute steal in the current market. And I feel like we should actually be biting the hands off for that one, to be honest. But I think the issue has been surrounding the fact that if we are going to spend that much for him, or that less for him, so to speak, there's been like a suggestions of a buyback clause included, and that's the only reason why he's going to go that cheap. And United really aren't keen on the buyback clause. But if you do want to bring in a left back with a little bit of talent and kind of strengthen the depth in that area, obviously with Luke Shaw's injury issues and sometimes Brandon Williams' inconsistencies, obviously being a young man, he's just recently signed his new contract, then you just want to get it done. But obviously United have been showing interest in Reguilon, they've been showing interest in Alex Telles in a left back area, so it does kind of look like United think they need to strengthen in that position. So I don't know what that tells you about how they pretty much view Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. I know obviously having competition in the full-back areas, or having competition anywhere in the pitch, can kind of improve or kind of just give players a kick up the arse that you need. You don't want players getting too comfortable. You want healthy competition all over the pitch. And you can kind of see that with the way that Luke Shaw responded to the way Brandon Williams kind of came into the team, and with that energy and that enthusiasm, and pretty much put pressure on Luke Shaw. And that basically resulted in him kicking on with that amazing, pretty much amazing, because we did kind of see the difference when he was injured, but the run of form that he had post-pandemic or even previous. So it's a deal that I feel like United definitely have to look into it. So it's been suggested that it's not really a priority, and I think Solskjaer does want to prioritise attacking areas. But if you getting him offered for £18 million, buyback clause included, I'll just get it done. But it kind of show where United's mindset really is at the moment, and that is pretty much focusing on getting this Jadon Sancho deal over the line, and that is probably where the United head's at, and that's where Edward's head is at the moment. But let me know about what you think about that. Do you think Sergio Reguilon for £18 million is a good deal? I certainly do, but let us know what you think in the comments. And on to the final bit of news. And with the final bit of news, it is surrounding mercurial talent and Jadon Sancho. Obviously, this is a little bit of a recap on yesterday. It's not... Basically, I don't think any of the news yesterday surrounding Jadon was pretty much breaking or anything new. I think it's just some news that was kind of leaked to the press from the club, which shows that United do feel like there's probably a little bit more confidence in getting it done. But it's a bit of a recap on the transfer live yesterday, and the news was obviously with Fabrizio Romano saying that United understood to have offered to pay £90 million with 18 million in performance-related add-ons to Dortmund for Jadon Sancho, involving paying the fee over the next 2 or 3 seasons, but Dortmund are determined to stick to their evaluation, and that has been the case for about, feels like a year now, but it's basically felt like a year, but it's only been a month. And if United want to get the deal done, you just need to pay exactly what Dortmund ask, because Dortmund are they're not pressured to sell. They don't really feel the pressure to have to. Obviously, they've got Dortmund have Jadon Sancho contracted him for the next couple of years or so. So they don't really have to get rid of him if they don't get the value that they want. And I think it's just United are trying to dance around just giving them exactly what they need. But that might show that we don't have the finances. But I don't really believe that. We are United and we do have big boy revenue and big boy money. And it's just a little bit of a tedious and mundane saga now, and I want to get it over and done with. I don't feel like any of the news that's coming in feels like fresh news. So I think it's just been the same kind of agreements really, and that's the fact that the player is keen on the move. All the agent fees have been agreed, all the personal terms have been agreed, and it's just basically a disagreement between the two clubs in terms of the actual overall fee. And so I don't really feel like anything that's been leaked in the past 24 hours is anything different than what's been public knowledge really for over a month now. It's just about whether United and Dortmund can really come to an agreement. And to pretty much kind of reiterate the notion that Sancho is pretty much keen on the deal was obviously by James Ducker, who from the Telegraph, who reported that Sancho's determination to push for a move before the close of the transfer window on October the 5th has helped to break the deadlock in negotiations and provided new hope of a deal. So it suggests that Jadon Sancho's kind of urgency or want to kind of move away and come back to England, which has been public knowledge and is quite obvious. Coming back to Manchester, he was here when he was up in his City days. He's got friends there and he's very comfortable with the city. And the fact that he's kind of probably made it a little bit open that he'd be keen on the deal has kind of broke the deadlock, because deadlock is pretty much an accurate description for what it's been in the past month or so. And the fact that it's been reported by Sky and there's been a little bit of an uptick in kind of the interest over the past 24 hours in what's going on with the Jadon deal, there could be a possibility that something could break in the next week or so. Obviously, we've got October the 5th, we've got basically a month to go. But with these deals, you'd rather get them done out of the way, but you'd rather get them pretty much done quickly and get them out of the way, so you can kind of mesh them into the team and get them going into the season without too much disruption. And hopefully we can actually get that deal over the line. But if we do, then you can definitely be here to see it on Stretford Paddock on the news. But this was the news. I'm Ronaldo Brown, and that was it for me, and I'll see you next time. See you in a bit.